Coaching cross country and track and field wasn't Jack Hazen's first choice. That distinction belonged to football, which is the sport Hazen started coaching as a graduate assistant under the legendary Woody Hayes at Ohio State. But when a position opened up to coach men's track and field at Malone College in nearby Canton, Ohio, that was 1967, and Hazen jumped at the opportunity. The rest was making history. In short order, Hazen turned the Malone Pioneers into a force on the NAIA level. Malone's men reached the NAIA cross-country championships in 1968 and then made the Nationals trip a fall tradition. The Pioneers running in the meet for the next 43 years until their move to NCAA Division II. Over that stretch, they placed in the top 10 an astonishing 35 times. Hazen guided Malone's men to its first NAIA team title in 1972, and the Pioneers would eventually win 3 more crowns. Malone's women captured the national championship trophy in 1999. Hazen also made sure the Pioneers left their mark on the conference and district level. Malone's men winning every conference and district cross-country meet from 1968 to 2010, while the women earned their share of league and district titles as well. Under Hazen's guidance, the men's track team won 18 consecutive conference crowns from 1972 to 1989, and district titles poured in just as plentifully. The Pioneers won 16 straight between 1976 and 1991, and a total of 19 in all. Hazen tutored a total of 325 NAIA All-Americans in track and cross country, which accounts for more than 80% of all the All-Americans in Malone athletics history. In 2012, Hazen served as an assistant coach for the U.S. track and field team at the London Olympic Games. And Hazen's reach continues far beyond what is now Malone University, as more than 100 of his former athletes are now coaches themselves. Canton, Ohio is a city of Hall of Famers, and now it proudly adds one more to the list. His name is Jack Hazen.
Well, thank you very much, and I want to first of all thank the selection committee and Sam Seams and his staff for making this a great experience for me. And it's such a great honor. It's simply a great honor to be inducted in this class with the same people on this stage that I look up to and respect very much. So congratulations to you, Amy and Fred and Pete and Bobby and certainly Patrick. This is a great honor, and I appreciate it very much. Sam, I think I may have been on the first executive board or the first board of trustees of this organization way back in the day, and I never dreamed that it would someday be what it is today. And under your leadership has become one of the finest and one of the classiest sport organizations in the world. And so I thank you for loving our sport so much, Sam. To all of you out there, I think I've never missed a Hall of Fame banquet. So I've listened to a lot of speeches, right? And I've tried to pick out some things that I liked a lot and put them in my speech tonight. And so I have 3 things that I really liked in speeches. Humility, humor, and don't talk so darn long. So as Elizabeth Taylor said as she was preparing for her 7th marriage, this will be brief. I think back to many of the inductees that I've witnessed, going way back to Mel Rosen. That was a favorite of mine. And then there was some people in here may remember Red Estes and his very entertaining speech, and that was I remember that a lot. More recently, Joey Haynes and his humility and his humor I enjoyed. But the best joke ever told at this banquet was by Al Cantello of the Naval Academy with his story about the blind snake and the blind rabbit in tall grass. Now, if you haven't heard that, it's only been a couple years ago, so somebody at your table may be able to tell it to you. Is Al here tonight? Al could tell it to you. If you don't get it told to you, see me afterwards and I'll be happy to tell you about it. My attempt at humor is going to be, I think, something that I received from a speaker at this banquet, and I can't remember who it was, but it's the 5 stages of old age. And as I approach my 78th birthday, it has more meaning to me. The first stage is you forget people's names. And the second stage is you forget people's faces. And so if I pass you in the hall this week and I should know you, yell at me. I'm not stuck up or aloof. I just didn't remember your face. The third stage is you forget to zip up, and the fourth stage is you forget to zip down. And I can't remember the fifth. So. There are so many people here that I want to thank and recognize. I was shocked that my 72, you saw the 72 national championship team. Many of them are right here at that table. They showed up tonight. It was a surprise. Some of my current athletes. And there's probably 30 or 40 people around here that I would like to say something about, but I'm not going to. I'm going to limit it to 3 people. I'd like to introduce them and then have them stand after they're all introduced. The first is my lovely daughter, Angela, who always has my back, and she is my only daughter and my favorite daughter. Then my longtime mentor of over almost 50 years, Dr. Joe Vigil. Joe has really shaped the way I coach. Through the years, he's mentored me and helped me in developing my philosophy, and so I'm so indebted to him. He is such a good friend. He calls me almost every week just to check on how I'm doing. Now, he's older than me, but he's calling me to check on me. Several years ago, we were talking about how it is that we became such close friends over the years, and we've never lived closer than 1,000 miles apart. And in his candor, he said, you know, Hazen, that's probably why we're such good friends. I'm so honored and blessed to have served at a godly college for over 50 years. And I do today what I've always done and what all of you do all the time. We recruit high school kids, and in 4 or 5 years, we teach them a little bit about track and field, and we help them mature and become adults. And then we see them go out as doctors and lawyers and nurses and teachers. And a few professional athletes, but what a great profession we are all in. What a great fraternity this is. I would like to, at this time, have Joe and Jill and Angie stand up and be recognized. I want to leave you with a saying that I've kind of used as a goal and what I try to coach to and what I think of every morning when I get up. And it comes from Coach Joe. If you've ever attended one of his clinics or one of his seminars, you will recognize this right away. But it's something I try to live by, and it's a favorite Vigilism of mine. And I will close with this. When excellence is in sight, good is not enough. Thank you very much.